think a big mistake that people make a lot is they don't circle back and try to overcome the objection later on in the transaction. People live paycheck to paycheck. They'd rather do what's in their best interest right now on a monthly basis than worry about what's going to happen 3 years from now. The average person really cares about the right now, right? And they'll figure it out later. That's just how people are. So, I mean, I switch people. I mean, I literally do it every single day. I switch people from 15 to 10. I mean, that's kind of an easy one. That's really not that tough. At the end of the day, the mileage, when you give them all of the reasons why the mileage won't even come into account, they don't even care. Like, I have 18,000 miles. I have 44,000 miles on my Grand Cherokee right now. I was allotted 30,000.
The least on this one would be $70 less.
$70 less.
See now,
Right. So somebody who's budgeting, right? Think about that. $70 less per month, right? Okay. Now you're talking to me a little bit, right? Now you're talking. Do we have a secondary vehicle that we can maybe take down the shore and not this car, right? Well, now people that are working from home, right? The mileage didn't matter for a few years. And another tried and true, right? Like, let's say Mike said, I was hoping the rate would be around, 4%, right? And we're at 7%. I wanted to be at 4%. Okay, totally understand, Mike. And, I actually felt that way before, too, until I found out that rates are higher right now, right? Totally understand the way you feel, felt, and found. I felt that way before, too, until I found out. But, Mike, that wouldn't stop you from owning the car, would it?
no.
All right. Right.
Rates are higher.
Right? I mean, guys, a lot of times it's just them complaining. Right? They're just complaining, hoping something will stick. Right? Maybe they get their way, but it doesn't have to be gospel, right? The thing about word tracks and overcoming objections, I think a big mistake outside of not isolating the objection that people make a lot is they don't circle back and try to overcome the objection later on in the transaction. They just take the. So you may try a word track, even. May it be the mileage, right? So let's say he was gung-ho on needing 15,000 miles per year. And I tried to fight the battle, and he said, no, I need 15, and I was at 10. We just continue to go the whole transaction thinking that that's not an objection I could overcome. Where I may use a certain word track to either get him 84 months from 72. I may say certain things, different techniques, get more money down. But in the same way that $2,000 was the final piece of the puzzle, I view overcoming objections almost like MMA. You have to throw combos, right?
Yeah,
so I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I got to go tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm actually dreading it. But tonight's striking into takedowns into Jiu-Jitsu. I think a lot of times we view word tracks as knockout punches, but they're not. You have to go from one to another, different combinations. And the thing that you say to your customer early in the transaction, in the first round, that jab you threw in the first round may have no effect on them. But in the last round, saying it again might be the straw that broke the camel's back. You may knock them out if you revisit that. But we take their word for gospel early in the transaction, but by the end of the transaction, we said that word before, more value's been presented. They have access to more information. Time. They're more invested in the transaction, right? Now 3 hours went by. Now I'm 3 hours into this thing. Mike built more value. I'm presented with new information. I don't feel like going through this thing again.
What he just said right there.
Yeah, right there.
You got to say to the customer,
Yeah.
hey, do you really want to go through this again? How long have you spent with me? 3 hours?
Yeah, how long you want to be here?
You want to do this again?
You should tell him, I don't want to be here and I work here.
Yeah,
Right? How can you want to be here?
Exactly.